Now, if you own a car and you wash your own car, you're going to like this video. Hello there, welcome to another video from Max Revs. I'm here at Auto Farm down in Bicester, Box and Gas, great location here. I am here for an underbody wash on my car. Now, if you own a car and you wash your own car, you're going to like this video. How many of you spend a lot of time washing your car, getting the ceramic coating done, getting all your little favourite products for cleaning the wheels, the tyres, the plastic trim and so on? Have you ever cleaned underneath your car? Some of you may clean up your wheel arches, lift it up on a ramp. Some of you even might take it a step further and take the wheel liners off. But how many of you take the wheel liners off, under trays off, and then do like a hot steam wash underneath to get rid of all that muck, and then follow it up with some protectant? Probably not a lot of you, and that's why I'm here. I've owned my car for about 6 months now, been driving it through some kind of like the winter. It's something I'm probably not that comfortable doing kind of going forward, so I'm here to basically get my car factory new, brand new. For those of you that can't buy a brand new car from the factory, like myself, I bought a 2016 car last year, so it was pretty much like 5 years old by the time I bought the car. I want to try and get my car back to factory new as much as possible. It's had all the servicing work done, it's all in tip-top condition, paint works lovely, it's all PPF'd and been detailed. The bit that hasn't been done is the underside of the car. So I'm here at Porsche Auto Farm. They basically offer a winter underbody protection package, which is what I've gone for. And in this video, we'll try and explain what is involved, what they do, the processes they do, the steps they go through, and all that kind of good stuff. So enjoying life and cars to the max. My car's just been jacked up on a ramp here. Travis is the guy that's going to be working on my car. He's a mechanic here at Porsche Auto Farm, and he's removed the under trays already. I'll show you some of that footage in a moment. And basically, I'm going to invite Travis in here just to kind of discuss what is this package that Auto Farm offer. So it's basically called Underbody Clean and Protection. We've just taken the trays off. We haven't done any cleaning so far. Travis, he's off on camera. If you want to sort of join us, thank you very much. Great looking car, thanks for sort of taking the trays off. We had a whole load of junk and dirt come off. What is the kind of next step for you now that you've sort of taken the trays off? Like this package that I'm going for, it's basically what? It's a water-based wash, like a steam bath?
Yeah, so it's a detergent we'll use to help get all the dirt and grit off under the car. Okay. It is a water-based, it's a high-pressure steam, so we'll get the detergent on there, we'll give it a good scrub, we'll steam clean it all, and then let it dry, and then assess for any damage, any rust, anywhere we can then attend to get rid of the rust, clean it up, and then we go for applying the wax on there, which will give you that underbody protection from the salt roads, the weather, the cold weather in there. You'll get a lot of, as you see under the car, where you've had your under trays on, all the dirt and grit which you saw fall out.
Yes.
With all of that sitting in there, that will hold moisture, and the moisture that's staying in there is where you'll start to get rust and problems with your underbody there.
Gotcha.
So by putting this coating on, it'll prolong the life of it. Ideally, what you're doing now is the perfect time to do it, because you're now preventing any damage happening as opposed to trying to rectify damage that's already happened.
Yeah. While we're here, all these like bits of oxidation that we can see, will that come off with a pressure washer?
It will come off. Most of it should come off with a pressure washer. It depends on how well it's set in there, coming down to the age of the vehicle itself. I would say most of this should come off, and the wax will give it that bit of protection, and hopefully you won't get it back anytime soon.
Fantastic. And in terms of, like, there's no like greases that could come off during the wash process. I can't see any like elements which are kind of supposed to be greased up, but
no, there isn't really. Commonly you'll find areas where you've got leaks from like the sump, the plug, the seal around the gearbox. All of that will come off, but at the moment I can't see any leaks or any issues under your vehicle. It looks pretty good at the moment. So it'll just be a case of cleaning it up, getting it waxed, and we go from there. Fantastic,
I really appreciate that. And in terms of days, is like we're going to try and do the wash today, let it dry, then you put the products on?
Yeah, day one would be getting it completely stripped, under trays off, the wheels will come off, all of the wheel arch liners will come out, and then we'll get it all, the detergent in there, get it all cleaned up, and then we'll let it sit inside like it is now on the ramp in the warmth of the workshop with the heater going, get it to dry out nice and thoroughly overnight. And then the next day we'll go through and look at doing any rust or any issues, any underseal issues. Once we've attended to that, then it's a case of applying the wax underneath there.
Fantastic, fantastic. And I think maybe you've seen this on previous videos, my underbody seam, where there's kind of like bathroom sealant running the length of the car. They're going to attend to that as well. I'm leaving them a camera. They've been kind to actually offer to do a bit of filming for me while I've left the car with them. So really excited about this, and I think it's something that probably everyone should consider because, you know, as I said, you never look under your car. We want these things to last. We know what the UK roads are like being salted. I'm probably not going to drive this car in winter conditions again. That's a topic for another video, but I think these cars are not really designed for kind of gritted, salted roads. That's just my opinion. So thank you very much, Travis, for explaining the process to me. Enjoying Life and Cars to the Max, and I'll bring you the before and after in another video. So let's now follow the process Travis used to get my car into a state ready for cleaning. Now, I wasn't actually there when the car was being cleaned. I've left them a GoPro. It's on a best efforts basis, so hopefully we can bring you some footage of the car being cleaned. But let's go through the process of what I saw when I was there when I dropped my car off. So the first step is to loosen the wheel nuts while the car's on the floor, and then they're going to raise the car and remove the wheels. This basically then allows access to remove the wheel liners. They took all the kind of under trays off underneath. The front wheel liners were fairly straightforward. The rear wheel liners proved a bit more tricky because you actually need to remove the rear brake lights, and in order to do that you need to remove some interior trim pieces, so that took a little bit kind of extra time. They're just now trying to take some of the under trays off around the rear bumper, so we may have to take the rear bumper off to get the under trays on. But top shout out to these guys for doing a thorough job, because, you know, they didn't have to take out the rear bumper, but in order to get round the back and get all that muck out and basically clean it, they're going to try and take the bumper off. It's one of those things you've got to do, so big shout out to these guys for doing the job thoroughly. I always get a little bit nervous when you kind of watch someone sort of like removing bits of trim from your car, but I guess I was glad that they let me watch it and film it. And I guess, you know, that's a level of transparency that I kind of prefer in a garage, is that, you know, I can see it all happening with my own eyes, even though it kind of looks like open heart surgery. These guys are used to doing this stuff sort of day in, day out. So, you know, I'd rather see it than basically not see it. So as you can see, they took the rear brake lights out. They then had to remove the spoiler. One thing that was interesting on a GT4, the rear kind of spoiler section, so I'm not talking about the raised wing, but the kind of like the spoiler that looks like on a normal 981, it doesn't raise, it's just obviously there. It's kind of raised above the bodywork of the car. So as you can see in this picture, you get a heck of a lot of dirt trapped in this area over here that you can never access. So obviously that's going to be cleaned out now that they've removed that, and they had to remove that piece basically to remove the rear bumper. Removing the rear bumper was essential to actually remove the rear wheel liners. And as you can see in this shot here, with the back end of the car pretty much all removed, this is the best way you're going to get a really good clean done. So one thing that I sort of took away from this, I'm used to seeing under trays come off when a car is serviced. I've always thought in the back of my mind, I'd love to be able to just say, listen guys, can I just come in and have an hour to clean my car while I'm there? But when you get your car serviced, that's not what you're paying for. You're paying for the car to be serviced. So I quite like the fact that there's a specific package that Autofarm offer. It's not a service, it's basically a clean with all these kind of under trays removed. And to be honest, I don't have the equipment to remove all these panels at home, which is why I've taken it to the professionals in this video over here. So it's fantastic to see this. I cannot wait for the kind of like the finished material when the car is returned to me all clean. Do like and subscribe, and in the follow-up video which I'll bring for you, we'll kind of compare the before and after shots on this car. Enjoying Life and Cars to the Max. See ya.